Y'all talked about sinners on this app for over a month to the point it started getting on my nerves. I'm seeing all the spiritual people, just like I did that video saying there's going to be a new type of hoodoo person. You got people all of a sudden want to do hoodoo, or they got inspired by sinners. They want to find their people, all that other blah, blah, blah. But y'all talk about vampires. You will see Papa Legba. You will talk about voodoo, hoodoo, Ifa, talk about Ibeji. You call it Irish people ginger, say they're black. All of this stuff. Y'all having sitters parties. You talk about Jim Crow. You talk about the time period. But you're not getting the point of the motherfucking video. This whole movie is talking about several things. Music. Dance. Clapping and shouting. The soul, like we have in soul food. Those are all used to invoke spirits and entities. That was the whole point in the whole fucking movie. And indigenous people, indigenous black people, African people, South Asian people, Polynesian people, we have a knack for being able to do that, which is evident in all our different spiritual traditions, correct? Even in spiritism, Catholic spiritism, American spiritist churches, espiritismo, all the different traditions, Venezuela, Maria Luanza, or like lots of umbanda, a lot of Brazilian traditions, all evident that you can use sound frequencies made by natural instruments, not electronic, singing, shouting, clapping, pulling on the ancestral experience to invite various spirits, entities, and also higher vibrational entities as well. But you have to be careful and also knowledgeable and have discernment on what you're inviting. And do not invite anybody that just shows up. This is still a problem in a lot of our traditions, and it has nothing to do with race. I go to festivals, not just the United States, but in Brazil, where people are singing and inviting spirits and entities to possess people, and they don't know who the fuck it is. Because they don't ask enough questions. You just assume that it is who they say they are. And then after a while, you start giving off fruit and blood sacrifices to a fucking vampiric spirit, a parasite, a vampire. This happens in ATRs today. A couple years ago, I went to a festival in Bahia that was supposed to be like an Eshu festival. And this woman, who was a godchild of the temple, got possessed by a negative entity. She was literally screaming, crying, and snarling at the same time while body jerking on the floor. I had to help do an exorcism during this event. And apparently I was the only one that knew how to get rid of it. Because the only people after I got rid of it came over and was like, I have never seen that shit before. You don't know how to get rid of negative spirits. That's an issue. But from research and talking to many of my clients from different backgrounds, I found out that that is characteristic of Portuguese style folk spiritism, where they just want to experience something. They don't care what spirit it is. It could be a dead hoe off the street. It could be a dead person from a cartel. And that's what a lot of these spirits are. They are just dead people who have not moved on, and then they're calling them entities and they call them guides. They're not guides, they're attachments. There's a difference between a spirit guide, somebody who passes away, who moves to the next realm. They work on their evolution, and they're assigned to be a spirit guide to a person or another spiritual person, and they help them out throughout their life. There's a difference between a bitch that never crossed over, never walked through a door, it's still literally just ghost, and it's hanging around you and asking for shit, asking for alcohol, asking for food, asking you to kill goats and bulls and chickens and stuff. And that's why it is just as common for that bullshit to happen in these quote-unquote initiatory traditions as it is in hoodoo, where it's not as structured. Believe it or not. A lot of times, the same shit that you'll see in the initiatory traditions is the same shit that you will see in hoodoo, or people who don't have such a structured, hierarchy with things. I keep saying it, the most highly structured and competent tradition in the diaspora is Haitian voodoo. Because there is a rite for every type of spirit. There is a song for every type of spirit. There is a protocol for every type of spirit. There are different roles in the society for everyone. And it doesn't get mixed up or fucked up. And if you do see somebody in trance and you know it's some fuck shit, people are quickly able to identify it. That's something I don't see in a lot of diasporic traditions. Just being real. That level of organization. But because that tradition is still mostly black, y'all talk shit about it. Or you have issues with it. It is what it is. When you go to Santeria functions, sometimes people catch an ego and they gotta get rid of it. Same thing with Palo. Same thing with umbanda. Literally, I've seen at every umbanda temple I've gone to, whether in the United States or Brazil, I've seen somebody catch some type of egun or negative spirit. You don't really see that much in Haitian voodoo because they squash it real quick. Just being honest. But back to the video. Sinners is trying to tell you about be careful with your voice. Be careful with your words. Be careful who you're inviting in your sacred space. Be careful who you're inviting in social gatherings, because one person can fuck up that whole circle. One person can fuck up that whole coven. One person can tear down a whole temple. One person can fuck up a whole Elay if they have enough negative attachments with them. Because I know some of you E5 folks like to initiate every damn body, and you're so worried about money, you're not actually doing proper investigation of people's spiritual framework or all the bullshit they're bringing with them. And I'm speaking from experience. One of my mentors brought the wrong person in their house and started fucking the wrong person with a significant attachment, and completely drove away all his clients, drove away his family, and the last time I checked, he was living in his car. He went from being booked and having a whole practice to living in his car in the manner of 2 months. Just by fucking someone with a really strong, serious spiritual attachment. Messing with the wrong person or bringing the wrong person to your sacred space can fuck up your entire life and or take you out of here.